Welcome to Let's Get Stringing, everybody. Today I'll be stringing my brand new head speed MP. I got it in the 4 3/8 size 3. This MP is 300 grams unstrung weight, 32 centimeter balance, and a regular 16 by 19 string pattern. I measured the before swing weight is a little bit lower than what Tenniswarehouse and Tennis Express shows. By about 10 units worth of swing weight. So I don't know why this one I got a low one, but we'll see what it measures after I get it strung. So I'll show a before and after spec somewhere along the video for you to see. And I'll be going with my go-to string Hybrid G17 here today. So I've used up 11.5 string jobs already out of this reel. I got it marked off here. So we'll go ahead and get the stringing started. Head logo up. I see these grommets are still a little bit recessed because it's never been strung before. They've got to be pushed in some more. And when we string it, that's what'll happen. So we'll go with 48 pounds of tension full bed. We're coming to winter time now, so let's not get too crazy with the too high of a tension, especially with my existing wrist injury. This racket has 6 grommet holes. Actually, excuse me, 8 grommet holes in the throat. So we're going from the head. If you're somebody who's played with this racket before, let me know what you think of it, pros and cons. So I might be able to compare my experience to yours. I've been playing with the Head Radical, both the previous version as well as the current one. And I've got both of those sticks, the specs matched up pretty good. So I have a pretty good idea of what specs to shoot for when I customize this one. It shouldn't need too much customization because they're all MP rackets. It's not like I'm trying to match a MP racket to a tour racket, so to speak. The stiffness on paper is supposed to be pretty low. I've seen numbers that's like 63 or 61, I can't remember. My radicals are 65 stiffness. But then reading the reviews, there's still somebody who complains about the high stiffness. So if that's the case, if I were to run into that issue, I'd have to put in these leather pads down here in the throat. It's called the power pads. Federer installs that on his racket. makes the string bed softer. Somebody like Federer, he strictly just uses that instead of dampener. Especially he's got mains going on. So but hopefully I won't be needing that. That's why I don't want to string it too high. High tension will give you more control, less power, and more pain in your arm. If you're somebody who suffers from existing tennis elbow situation. I would not recommend stringing over 52 pounds or 55 pounds at most for some of those big hitters. Although I've strung for people that specifically request for 57, 50, 58 pounds. I mean, those are pretty big hitters, so I know that they're big hitters, so I don't even try to convince them to lower their tension otherwise, because I know they can handle it and they know what they're doing. Okay, we'll be skipping grammar hole number 7 and going to grammar hole number 8 for our 7th string. Same thing over here, same skips. And we're skipping grammar hole number 9, both top and bottom as well, for our last string. Wait. Yeah. This racket is a 16 by 19. So that is correct. We'll pull it at our tie-off knot tension, or 10%. Add it. So instead of 48 pounds, we're pulling at 52 and a half. All right, this one doesn't have the tie-off knot tension. I'll redo that. Next time I won't cut too long with string because that's a lot left over, about 1.5 feet. I usually try to reduce my remnants to about less than 1 foot. That'll be ideal. Before I do that, let me plug the tension on the mains. It looks like these last 3 are a little bit higher, but it's okay. This has parallel drilling on the sides, guys. These tie-off holes are located the same location as the extreme tours, that is, that I just strung yesterday.
Let's skip ahead to the end.
I noticed on these speeds I can pretty consistently keep my machine clamps up against the second mainstream from the sides here. Second one from the outside. You see how it stops right here? Same thing on this side. It's the same thing all the way up and down. On some of the rackets, that's not always been the case. Especially if you always try to clamp up as close to the frame as possible. I mean, The advantage of doing that is you get the tightest amount of tension. However, because of the clamp design and the grommet locations, you can't always get a consistent enough of a clamp at all the locations. So you wind up getting one string that's a little bit higher, and then the next one might be a little bit lower. That's the issue with inconsistencies. So I prefer this way. But starting from this one, I can no longer do it like this. It'd be too tight. I mean, yeah, perhaps I can, but then it's all the way against the grommet on that side. You see, and then when it retracts, drawbacks, it makes the main strings move, which means at the end we'll need to correct that. We'll need to straighten that out. It's just more time consuming. So as long as you can clamp it in the appropriate location without disturbing the main strings, that'll be the best practice. But at least for the most part, within the sweet spot, that's pretty consistent. Let's see, after this one we got 1, 2, only 2 more to do. There's 1, there's 2, plus enough to reach the tension head, and we got this much left over. Waste it, but at least it's minimal. It's about a foot, or maybe a little more. It's okay. It's better than being short. The more of this kind of sewing action that you have to do, the more twists there will be in the string. So that's why when I straighten it out, try to avoid it as much as possible. But somehow, you know, these last 2 strings, that's not always possible. If you wanna, there's ways to straighten it out as much as possible, but it will take time. I need to pull it first. This Hybrid G string, for the most part, stays pretty straight in the string bed. I think it might be because it's slicker or it's thinner gauge. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anybody who knows, I can chime in on it. Because like that string I stringed, the Restring 0, the 16 gauge, because it was thicker. When I strung it yesterday, halfway through, I have to start adjusting already, because I could feel that things are not straight. It might have to do with, you know, the clamping position that I mentioned earlier as well. Either that or I'm full of crap. Just my take. Let's see here. I could tie it off there, or I could tie it off here. Tie it off there. Let me try this one. This grommet hole is pretty thick, yeah. Because I see that it's marked with a dot on this side. Head has these 2 dots already marked. And on this side, since it's covered up by the black paint, you can't see it. That's why I figure, since there's a mark there, then the opposite side would fit too. I'm gonna do a part out Parnell knot on this one, since the grommet hole seems to be pretty big. Yeah, with that clamping away is kind of difficult. Okay, I got it. Looking good. I like to move all of these strings so they don't get stuck in their indentations already before they even get used. Then you wonder why they notch so quickly. Well, that's why. Because they were dented from the start. And these ones in the sweet spot are pretty straight. So that agrees with my clamping position theory. It's all done. Thank you very much for watching. I'll update you on the before and after specs and what I decide to do in terms of any customization, any lead tapes that I will put on. I'll keep you posted. And please comment and subscribe. Happy hitting.
And I've customized it by adding 2.8 grams of lead at 230 and 930 positions, making it about 4 points headlight, 329 grams strung weight, and 329 swing weight units. So I'll be playtesting it and see how it works. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.